Good morning students, welcome to YouTube channel of Proton. And in previous video we have discussed about the digestion in mouth cavity. And students, today we are going to discuss about the digestion in our stomach, means how to digestion take place in our stomach. So this is the part 22 of our chapter Human Digestive System, and in this video we will study about the digestion process take place in our stomach. So students, without delaying, let's start. So first of all, students, I want to tell you that in our stomach some special cells are found in the wall of stomach. These special cells are known as G cells. In description we can say these cells are known as gastric cells. So in gastric cells a hormone is produced and secreted. The name of the hormone is gastrin hormone. You can see here, this is the hormone which is secreted by G cells. So students, in short we can say G cells secrete a special types of hormone which is known as gastrin hormone. And why it is called gastrin hormone? Because it is related to our gastric glands. So students, this gastric hormone plays very important role. What the role of this gastrin hormone? That gastric hormone stimulates our gastric glands, where some special glands are found on the wall of our stomach. So these glands are known as gastric glands, and gastrin hormone acts on these glands. And what the role play it hormone? That it plays very important role, that gastrin hormone stimulates gastric glands when food comes into the stomach. So gastrin hormones stimulate these gastric glands, hence gastric juices secreted by gastric glands. So means I mean to say that some special cells are found in our stomach. These are known as G cells, and G cells secrete very special hormone that is known as gastrin hormone. And when food enters into the stomach, these gastric hormone stimulates our gastric glands, and these gastric glands produce or secrete some special juice that is known as gastric juice. So students, I mean to say gastric glands are the cause to secrete gastric juice. So it is done because of gastrin hormone. After stimulations of gastrin hormone stimulates gastric glands so that gastric juice get produced. Clear students? And gastric juice contains many chemicals which help in the digestion of food in stomach. So gastric juice, its secretion is controlled by hormones, nerves, and chemicals. So students, what is the controlations, what is the regulations of gastric juice? Gastric juice is secretion of gastric juice is controlled, regulated by some special hormones, certain nerves, certain chemicals found in our body. So these hormones, nerves, and chemicals are regulated, control the secretion of gastric juice. So always remember students this important thing that is mentioned in as the point number 1. Clear students? So come to the next point students. The next point is that some drinking substance also stimulates the secretion of gastric juices like soup and caffeine. So students, I mean to say through this point that in our body, in our stomach, gastric juices help to increase the desire of appetite. What is the role of gastric juice? When the secretion of gastric juice take place, then in our body demands the food. Our stomach demands the food. So I mean to say that gastric juices stimulates the desire of appetites, means it increases the desire of appetite. Clear students? Appetite means hunger. So some drink like gastric juices, some drinking substance which is taken outside sources, which is taken through outside sources like soup, caffeine, some type of alcohols which increase the desire of appetite, hunger. So students, when we go to any restaurant, hotel, first of all we order to soup, hence the desire of our hunger increases. So very much clear students, this is an important point, that gastric juice, why gastric juice is secreted in our stomach? Because of gastric juice increase the desire of our appetite. Clear students? Okay, let's come to the next point. If we talk about the pH of gastric juice, it contains 1.5 to 2.5, and this pH is, you know students, that is most highly acidic pH. This is the most highly acidic pH, and it is because of HCl. HCl stands for hydrochloric acid. So students, pH of gastric juice is not confirmed, not stable. It is varies in different situations, so it may be 1.5 to 2.5. and gastric glands are located on mucosa of stomach. We talk about the gastric glands. What is the location, exact location of these glands? It is located on the mucosa of stomach. What is the mucosa? Mucosa is the layer which by which our body organs are made of. Mucosa, some mucosa, mucus layers. So these are the layers by which our body organs such as stomach, small intestine, large intestine are made of. Clear students? So this is the point number second. Come to the next point, that protein digestion start in stomach, main site of protein digestion. As we discussed in our previous video, students, I have talked one thing at that time, that digestion of fat get start in our body. First, the main site of digestion of fat is mouth cavity, where the 30% of fat digestion take place. In other words, if we talk about the digestion of protein, so the main site where the digestion of protein get started, that is stomach. So I have mentioned here this point, that protein digestion start in our stomach, but it is not completed. Means I mean to say the digestion of protein is not completed in our stomach. Clear students? I mean to say that protein digestion starts in our stomach. Main site of protein digestion is stomach. Excuse me, students. Okay, students, welcome to again. So I'm talking about the protein digestion site, where the firstly digestion of protein starts. So I mean to say protein digestion start in our stomach. So we can say in short that main site of protein digestion, where the protein digestion begins, that is stomach. So students must be remember this thing, that protein digestion start in our stomach. Clear students? So come to the next point. Food mixed with gastric juice in stomach is called chyme, which is a paste-like food. So students, we have discussed on this point in our previous video, and when we discussed the structure of stomach, at that time we have already discussed about this point, that when the food mixed with the gastric juice, after the mixing of food with gastric juice in stomach, it is called, the form of food is called chyme. And we discussed at that time, we have already discussed the food of form in stomach after mixing of gastric juices is called chyme, and the food after mixing of intestinal juices is known as chyle. Clear students? And the form of food after mixing of saliva, that is known as bolus. So as it is the chyme, what is the form of food in stomach? That is known as chyme. So chyme is a paste-like food structure. What is the structure, basic structure of chyme? It is a paste-like food. Clear students? It is a jelly-like structures. Jelly, something is sticky structures. Clear students? So this is another important point, and we have discussed this point in earlier videos. So come to the next point. that students, I want to say that some special cells are also found on the wall of our stomach. That cells are known as oxantic cells, and the another name of these oxantic cells are parietal cells. So don't be confused students, that oxantic cells are same as parietal cells, both are same. So this is the synonyms of oxantic cells, that is oxantic cells are known as parietal cells. And this is very important point, because these oxantic cells secrete very important chemical, very important acidic substance, that is known as HCl. HCl stands for hydrochloric acids. So students, it is very important for exam point of view that which cells, sometimes it is asked in your board examinations as well as your competition examinations, that HCl is secreted by which types of cells. So you are answered students at that time that oxantic cells or parietal cells produce and secrete hydrochloric acid. And if we talk about the pH of HCl, we know very well that students, it is highly acidic, most acidic substance, most acidic substance, and the pH of HCl is 1.5 to 2.5. And if we talk about the exact pH, aggregate pH, it is approx 2. Clear students? So this is most high acidic substance found in our stomach, and it is secreted by oxantic cells or parietal cells. Clear students? So what is the role of HCl? There are many roles of HCl, as we discussed when we have discussed already when we discussed about the stomach. And again I repeat the role of HCl, that HCl HCl kills the bacteria which enters in our stomach through food. The first function of HCl, what is the function of HCl? HCl kills the bacteria which enters in our stomach through food. Clear students? So first function is, I am not mentioned here because we have already read about it. So HCl is most important substance. So first function is it kills the bacteria. The second functions of HCl is that students, that in our stomach when there is no food, there are some inactive enzymes are found in our stomach, but they are not inactive in every time. They are active when food enters into the stomach. So students, which substance actives these enzymes? So first we talk about the name of the enzymes that are found in inactive. So these are enzymes that is known as pepsinogen and prorenin. So these are two enzymes are found in inactive form when there is no food in our stomach. So they are found in inactive form. When food enters in our body, when food enters in our stomach, HCl activates these enzymes, and the form of active form of these enzymes are pepsin and renin. So in short we can say pepsinogen converts into pepsin. This is the active form. So students, we were discussing about these two enzymes, that is known as pepsinogen, prorenin, and as I discussed that pepsinogen converts into pepsin and prorenin converts into renin. So students, these are the active forms and these are inactive forms. When food enters into our stomach, HCl activates these two enzymes that is known as pepsinogen and prorenin. So HCl converts these inactive enzymes into their active forms. So this is an important function of HCl. Must be remembered students that HCl plays very important role in our stomach, and students, HCl is highly acidic. One more thing I want to tell you, that HCl is highly acidic because of their pH is maintained 1.5 to 2.5. So HCl is highly acidic and it damages the wall of stomach, but it is not possible. It damages the wall of stomach, but it's not possible. Why? Because mucus secreted by cells, some special chemical is secreted by our stomach wall, and there were some special glands are found that is known as mucus cells, which is found on the wall of stomach, and they secretes a very special chemical that is known as mucus, and mucus protects the stomach from this highly acidic HCl. Clear, students? So they protects the stomach from bad effect of HCl. So students, I want to tell you some important terms, some important points related to renin. That renin is activate only in childhood. It's not active in adulthood. It actives only childhood, and it acts only mother's milk. It acts only mother's milk. When an infant feed the mother's milk, that at that time renin found in that infant, it converts that milk into curds. So it is play a very important role only in childs. In adulthood, it is not found in active form. So renin is also known as mother's milk digestive enzyme. It is also known as milk clotting gastric enzymes. Clear, students? Because it clots the milk when an infant feed the mother's milk. At that time, it clots the milk. Clear, students? And convert into the curd-like substance. That is sorrow in nature. So it is known as milk clotting gastric enzyme. Clear, students? So this is all about the renin. So come to the next point, our main point, that how to protein get digested and what is the side products form after digestion starts, or digestion of protein get starts. So students, in our stomach, you know very well that digestion of protein get starts first. So protein converts into three important side products, or we can say partially digested proteins. These are known as peptones, protease, and peptides. So when pepsin act on protein, it converts this protein, this soluble protein, this large molecule of protein into peptones, proteases, and peptides. So this is the partially digested form of protein, when first pepsin acts on protein. And what is the pH of reactions? That is 1.5 to 2.5. It may be varies from 1.5 to 2.5. So it is very much clear, students. Protein firstly digested, firstly break down into peptones, proteases, and peptides. This is the short form. This is the first digested form of protein, and it begins where the digestion of protein begins into stomach. Please, students, come to the next, that a very special types of protein. This is known as milk protein, that is found in our stomach, and it is found in soluble form, that is known as casein. Must we remember, students, what is the soluble protein found in our stomach? That is known as casein. This is the solid form, and this is the liquid, or we can say we can say soluble form of protein. This form is known as casein. This is the special form of protein that is soluble in water and other liquids, that is known as casein. And renin act on this form. Renin act this type of protein, and what is the pH of this reaction? That is 1.5 to 2.5. So renin acts on casein, and renin converts this casein into a very important form, that is calcium para-caseinate. What I said is, students, calcium para-caseinate, and this is insoluble form. Must we remember, para calcium paracasinate is insoluble form of protein, insoluble form of casein, and casein is the soluble form of protein. So casein converts into calcium paracasinate, that is insoluble form. Clear, students? So there are two reactions take place in our stomach that shows the digestion of protein. Clear, students? So one more thing I want to tell you, that in our stomach very short amount of fat is found in milk. Clear, students? In milk there very short amount of fat found in milk. So this form of fat is known as triglyceride. Triglyceride is a important form of fat. Clear, students? So triglyceride is converted into fatty acid plus glycerol. These are the side products of fat. When fat get digested, so it converts into fatty acid and glycerol. This is the end products of fat. So students, very short amount of fat found in milk, and it is get digested by a very important enzyme that is known as gastric lipase. Students must be remember, when we discussed about the digestion in our buccal cavity, at that time I have told you that a special enzyme is secreted by some special glands, which is some special glands that is known as lingual glands, and the name of the enzyme at that time is, we must know that the name of enzyme is lingual lipase. And if you have remembered that I have told you at that time that lingual lipase found in our buccal cavity produced by some special cells. Clear, students? That is this is at that time, this is in our mouth buccal cavity, the lingual lipase is found in inactive. There is no role occurs in buccal cavity, and it activates after coming in our stomach. So after coming in stomach, lingual lipase is known as gastric lipase, because it is related to our gastric juices. So it is related to our stomach, so it is known as gastric lipase. Don't be confused in lingual lipase and gastric lipase. When it found in our buccal cavity, gastric lipase is known as lingual lipase in the term of lingual, because the glands found below the lingual, below the tongue. So that is at that time it is known as lingual lipase, and in our buccal, in our stomach, the lingual lipase is also known as gastric lipase. So don't be confused in both terms. The lingual lipase and gastric lipase are same. It is the site, it is the act when it found the major sites as stomach, as buccal cavity. So students, I want to tell you that triglyceride, which is the digested fat found in our milk, mother's milk, it is converted into fatty acid and glycerol by the help of enzyme gastric lipase. Very short amount of fat get digested in our stomach, because our stomach is the main site of digestion of protein. It is the protein digestion main site, not fat digestion main site. Digestion of fat starts in our buccal cavity, we know very well, and the digestion of protein starts in our stomach. So students, this is all about the digestion of food in our stomach, and we have studied today how to digestion take place in our stomach, and some special cells which produce the juices which is related to digestion of food in our stomach. In this video I have told you that how to digestion take place in our stomach. In upcoming video we will study how to digestion take place in our small intestine, because small intestine is the last site where the digestion take place finally. Clear, students? So in upcoming video we will discuss about the digestion, how to digestion take place in our small intestine. Before that we will discuss about the some digestive enzymes which are secreted by our small intestine, which are secreted by pancreas, which are secreted some special juices which are secreted by liver. We will discuss before discussing the digestion take place in small intestine. So students, that's all about the digestion in stomach, and thanks for watching me. Come to the next video. Thank you once again.